You know that festive, twinkling tree that shows up in our homes every year? It's probably one of the most recognizable symbols on the entire planet. But, behind all those lights and ornaments, there's a really surprising story, one filled with conflict, faith, and a total transformation. So let's peel back the tinsel and get into the real story. We're going to start with a genuine puzzle, something that's right at the heart of this tradition. And honestly, when you stop and think about it, it doesn't quite add up. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. We see them absolutely everywhere. But where did this idea come from? This tradition of bringing an evergreen tree inside our houses and decorating it. And right there, that's the central mystery. If you go back and read the original Christmas story, the nativity accounts in the Gospels, you'll find shepherds, wise men, a manger, all that. But there's not a single solitary mention of a decorated tree. So if it didn't start there, where in the world did it begin? Well, to find the answer, we have to go way back in time, long before our modern celebrations, to the deep, dark, ancient forests of medieval Germany. See, in this pre-Christian world, it wasn't a fir tree that was the center of attention. No, it was a gigantic oak tree. And this wasn't just any tree. It was considered sacred, a powerful symbol of their god of thunder, Thor. And the rituals that happened around this tree were, well, they were intense. The oak was decorated, sure, but it was also the site of animal sacrifices. And according to the legends, even an annual human sacrifice to keep their god happy. A little different from the peaceful symbol we know today, right? Okay, so into this world steps our main character, a historical figure who is about to walk right up to this tradition and change everything, forever. His name was Saint Boniface, and he was a Christian missionary. So the story goes that somewhere around the year 727, Boniface stumbles upon a tribe getting ready to sacrifice a child at the base of this giant oak of Thor. He jumps in, stops the whole ceremony, and starts preaching about a god of peace, not a god of violence. And then to really prove his point, he grabs an axe and chops down their secret oak. And what happens next is the real turning point. The legend says that right there, from the roots of the fallen oak, a small, young fir tree was found growing. Boniface totally seized this moment. He pointed to that little evergreen and gave it a brand new, powerful meaning. He said it wasn't a symbol of a scary god, but a symbol of peace and everlasting life, with branches reaching out like they're embracing all of humanity, and its top always pointing up towards heaven. And this is the crucial part to understand. This event wasn't just about swapping one tree for another. It was a complete transformation of its meaning. It was about embedding it with a totally new Christian symbolism. I mean, just look at this shift. It was profound. The tree went from representing a god of thunder and sacrifice to representing Jesus Christ himself, a symbol of peace and eternal life. We're talking about a complete rebranding of a hugely powerful cultural symbol. But the symbolism, it didn't stop there with Boniface. As the tradition grew over hundreds of years, the practice of putting lights or candles on the tree got connected to an even deeper idea, one from the Old Testament. And that is the story of the burning bush. You probably know it from the book of Exodus. Moses sees this humble bush that's completely on fire, lit up with the fire of God, but the bush itself isn't burning up. And that image became a really powerful symbol in Christian theology. So, you're probably asking, how does an ancient story about a bush connect to a Christmas tree? Well, here's the thinking. The lit tree came to represent that burning bush. Just like the bush held the fire of God without being destroyed, it was seen as a symbol of the Virgin Mary, who carried the divine Christ within her. And the fact that it was a simple, humble bush, not some mighty cedar tree, was seen as a sign that God chooses to be with the humble. So those twinkling lights on your tree today, they're like a tiny echo of this huge, profound mystery. Okay, so we've got this incredible origin story, this really rich symbolism, but how did it get from a legend in a German forest to the global tradition that we all know today? Well, the next major turning point, the moment this legend really starts to become an official, widespread tradition, we can actually pinpoint it to one specific year, 1539. This is when the practice takes a huge leap. For the very first time, a decorated Christmas tree was officially placed inside a church, the Strasbourg Cathedral, also in Germany. That one act helped institutionalize the custom. It moved it from just a folk legend into an officially recognized part of celebrating Christmas. So the next time you look at a Christmas tree, you're not just looking at a decoration. You're seeing the shadow of an ancient pagan oak, the symbol of a missionary's powerful faith, and a representation of a deep theological mystery. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing stories are hiding in plain sight, right in the middle of our own everyday traditions?